Hello and welcome to the 1997 Misawa Year in Review. For the next 60 minutes, you'll see how Misawa has changed during the last 12 months. You'll see old friends that moved on to accept new challenges and new friends that have since joined the Misawa team. Keep in mind a lot has changed during the last year. To ensure our script matches the video you see, we've used the facts of each story in their historic context. For example, Brigadier General Bruce Wright, the 35th Fighter Wing and Misawa Installation Commander, was a colonel when he first arrived here, and stories produced at that time will refer to him as such. No disrespect is intended. With that quick disclaimer out of the way, sit back, relax, and see how Misawa Air Base has changed for the better.
At the beginning of 1997, base officials and the Misawa City Mayor welcomed the Commander-in-Chief of Pacific Air Forces, General John Lorber. It was a brand new year and a time for the General to address our concerns about quality of life, the value of maintaining good relations with our host country, and the importance of a joint military workforce.
And so we're kind of ambassadors in blue, or ambassadors in green, or ambassadors in brown, or ambassadors in white, how you look at it from the components. But as a team, the American team, we're ambassadors for our nation.
Misawa was doing so well, the base soon became one of 3 finalists vying to win the Air Force Commander-in-Chief's Installation Excellence Award. The judging ended in January with Installation Commander Brigadier General Paul Hester praising everyone's hard work. General Hester said great people and ideas helped the base shine for the judges. The General's confidence was certainly well placed because the people of Misawa eventually took first place honors in that competition. Misawa's victory was announced in March. While the entire base waited in January to hear news they won the Installation Excellence Award, many units on base were already taking home unit awards. The Pacific Air Forces named Misawa's Finance Office, PACAV's Financial Management and Comptroller Organization of the Year, and the Financial Services Office of the Year. But the Misawa Awards didn't stop there. 3 units at Misawa proved they could cross the border of cultural barriers when they were recognized by local Japanese police for the first time in history. The 35th Security Police Squadron, Detachment 623 of the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and the Naval Criminal Investigative Service were honored for distinguished support for the Japanese city of Misawa. January was also a month for quality of life improvements. One of the positive changes that came our way during 1997 started with a dry pool in January. Services officials closed the base pool so the contractors could renovate and upgrade the facility. Still, the pool wasn't the only thing to get a facelift. Our base newspaper, the Northern Light, got a new look as well. And not to be outdone, the American Forces Network, AFN Misawa, added new channels to the base cable system. The AFN News Sports channel debuted in January. But as quality of life went up, so did our insurance rates. Beginning in January, drivers had to fork over more of their pay to insurance companies. The U.S. Forces Japan set new minimum insurance requirements. Depending on driving categories, this meant premium price hikes of $100 to $350 a year. January was also a month for celebrations and competitions. One example happened when a service was held at the base chapel commemorating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Americans even joined in a Japanese celebration that happens every year. The Americans joined their Japanese neighbors during a coming-of-age ceremony called Seijin no Hai, which literally translates to mean Adulthood Day. It's a day when children leave their childhoods behind and are officially welcomed to the world of adults. Of course, childhood is not all serious. For some kids, being young means competition, creativity, and lots of fun. That's how kids describe the 1997 Pinewood Derby. This year's Misawa Scouts added a twist and made their annual gathering an international event.
It's pretty much the same. There's not a lot of differences. There's a little bit of difference in the way they do things, but the whole idea about scouting is for the boys to learn about the outdoors and to become leaders of tomorrow, basically from there with the training. And so the Japanese have that same view and idea towards scouting too.
February began with more than a foot of heavy snow tumbling out of the sky on the morning of February 3rd. The crush of snow forced a base-wide shutdown. Many roads were impassable, and just getting to cars was a chore for many folks. Although personal inconvenience is troublesome, maintaining a flying mission following a heavy snowfall is critical. The task demands fast snow removal. It's a joint effort between the 35th Civil Engineering Squadron and Japanese Air Self-Defense Force, a job where speed is vital to the base's warfighting mission. Snow also falls on planes, and before the Navy can send their P-3 Orions into the air, they must de-ice the metal. It's the lineman's job to take care of the aircraft and make sure everything is safe and secure. In spite of the snow, February was a month of transition for Misawa Air Base. It saw the departure of former 35th Fighter Wing and Installation Commander Brigadier General Paul Hester at a change of command ceremony on February 14th. During his farewell comments, General Hester quoted President Herbert Hoover.
Character is made in the community as well as in the individual by assuming responsibilities, not by escaping them. This is by any measure is the definition of Misawa.
Before General Hester left Misawa, he took a final flight in an F-16. It was a cold, brisk day, but there were plenty of good laughs to warm the sad send-off for a commander that's moving on. Those weren't the only honors for General Hester. The commander of the Northern Japanese Air Self-Defense Force, Lieutenant General Shoji Takaguchi, presented the general an appreciation award on behalf of the JASDAF Chief of Staff. General Hester wasn't the only award winner. In February, the wing recognized its annual award winners. 4 of the 7 honorees came from the support group, and their commander was very proud of them. The Naval Air Facility also took honors in February. Their Bachelor's Enlisted Quarters won the Admiral Zumwalt Award and received 5-star accreditation, making them one of 7 bachelor quarters with that rating. Also in February, the 35th Fighter Wing's maintainers were competing for the Daedalian Award. PACAV named the wing the best in PACAV for the first time since they started flying F-16s in 1985. The Air Force announced the winner in March. February was also a significant time for the Junior Enlisted Association. The group started in 1996, but during 1997, they were officially recognized as a sanctioned base organization. The group gives junior enlisted E4s and below a way to collectively express themselves. The concerns of the group are routinely presented to base leadership, and many of the ideas have been used to improve the Misawa community. Many celebrations occurred in February, and probably the biggest recognized African American heritage. One event sponsored by the African American Heritage Month Committee was a fashion show. The show gave participants a chance to combine fun and excitement with learning. People also gathered at the Tohoku Enlisted Club for the African American Heritage Month banquet.
I think it's wonderful to get together with friends and share some good food. A lot of people don't get a chance to, get together and remember our heritage.
Banquet organizers gave scholarships to 3 Edgren High School students for their entries in the career essay contest. In February, Misawans took time out to pray. The National Prayer Breakfast gave people the opportunity to remember their religious heritage and to ask for help and guidance in the future. And finally, February was the month of the annual Slip and Slide softball tournament. In the end, the Misfits took the trophy for the 2nd year in a row. The Army Community Association sponsored the 2.5-day event that raised money for the community. March was a busy time for Misawa. It was a time when training engaged the brain power of the community. In today's military, maintaining readiness takes a lot of practice. So throughout the month, the base participated in several local operational readiness exercises. The training was designed to keep Misawa's airmen prepared to fight and win any conflict that comes up anywhere in the world. At that time, our new wing and installation commander, Colonel Bruce Wright, took a tour of the base exercise sites, stressing the importance of everyone being prepared.
It's a tough job. It's not very glamorous, packing and loading out, but there's a lot of attention to detail required, a sense of urgency, and when we inspected as soon as within the next 45 to 60 days, we need to be ready with all the things like recall rosters and all the procedures that we go through to pack and get out of town.
The return of warmer weather to Misawa also brought back the 14th Fighter Squadron following their participation in exercise Cope North 97-2. One of the objectives of the joint exercise was to allow American pilots to practice air-to-air combat with their Japanese counterparts. The 35th Security Forces also did some joint training, teaming up with Misawa's Navy Security Forces. The joint operation helps Navy police forces maintain proficiency in basic law enforcement skills. It also allows the Air Force a chance to work with their Navy counterparts. In March, Misawa hosted two very important visitors. Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich made a brief stop at Misawa Air Base en route to Korea and had the opportunity to get a closer look at the base and its mission. He also took the opportunity to speak to several members of the community. Lieutenant General William Howland also visited Misawa and was the featured guest speaker for the Logistics Professionals Banquet. With school still in full swing, the students at Cummings Elementary School got a welcome addition in March. Students received 10 new computers from the Department of Defense Dependent School System as part of the presidential initiative to furthering education by promoting technology in the classroom. As part of the Women's History Month, women from all over base visited the career class at the high school. By talking about their jobs and experiences, women challenged the students to think about their future. How do you spend $200,000? That's the question a group of 10 community members were asked to answer. Base leaders selected 10 representatives from a cross-section of the base population to come up with the best ideas on how to spend the money from the Installation Excellence Award. The goal of the committee was to benefit the entire community. But the winning didn't stop there. In March, the car guys gave one lucky couple a trip to Hawaii. Rhonda and Rod Wooden won the free trip and $1,000. Winners were also found in Ganohe when members of NSGA participated in their annual sports festival. The town of Ganohe City and Misawa's Naval Security Group activity have been associated with one another for more than 25 years. According to the commander of NSGA, Navy Captain Barry Burness, the social interaction is very important.
I think it's because both people respect each other, both people want to learn from each other, both people enjoy being with each other, and thus we're accepted.
Religion plays a major role for many Christians at Misawa, and Easter is probably one of the most important and widely celebrated holidays with religious significance. For Easter, men and women from various religions pulled together to remind the community of the true meaning of the holiday with an Easter cantata. The production, Once and for All, featured singers and instrumentalists and welcomed audience participation. We'll close out our look at March with the sights and sounds of the Easter cantata at the base chapel.
Offering someone your hand is a sign of respect, and it's the right thing to do. Misawa Air Base hosts a number of individuals that deserve that respect. So when you're in uniform and you see an American military staff car with an eagle or stars on the license plate, or a Japanese military staff car with chrysanthemums or the letters VIP on the license plate, show them respect by offering your hand in salute.
Part of the reason I joined the Air Force was because of the pride, and I think service before self has a lot to do with that pride.
I think it's still important that you put service before yourself, even if you're working along with our Japanese counterparts, our Navy counterparts. I still think it's important because as a whole we're all one team. We all work to accomplish the 35th Fighter Wings mission.